Hey there, it's Jason from Codemanship with a short video about golden masters. I've got some legacy code in inverted commas that I've put together for a workshop on refactoring. It fetches hourly weather forecast data from a web service, aggregates it by day, and then calculates averages and highs and lows and that kind of thing, and then outputs all of that to the command line, to the console, in a nicely formatted way, hopefully. So it produces something that looks like this. Now, if I want to safely change the logic of this legacy code, I'd want to put unit tests around it. But we're in a kind of a catch-22 situation here because there currently are no unit tests for it. So it's not really safe to refactor it. So I need to be super, super disciplined and cautious. And that probably means testing it manually. So, in other words, running the program and inspecting that the output is exactly as it was before. Now, the output we've got here is there's quite a lot to it, there's quite a lot to check, which means it's going to be cumbersome and potentially error prone as well, doing it by eye. Now, one quick way to check that the system is producing exactly the same output as before is to compare the new output after, for example, doing a refactoring with what's called a golden master. So that's the original output, hopefully approved by the customer. So they're saying, well, yeah, that's what it's supposed to produce. Um, so that we can essentially compare those two outputs. And with a console application, a simple way to do that might be to do a file diff. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to produce, before I do any refactoring, I'm going to produce a golden master. I'm going to run this program and send the output of that, the console output, to a text file. So we can run it at the command line like that. So let's run, it's called app.py, and we want to output that to, let's call it golden.txt, our golden master. So it won't display it on the screen, hopefully. It will send it to a file called golden.txt, which we'll see in a minute. There you go. And when our environment updates, you'll see there's that file. And that's the output we're currently getting. That's our golden master. Then if I perform a change, do a refactoring, for example, so one problem we've got with our design here that makes it hard to unit test those averages is that the calculations are being done inside the display logic. Never a good idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to fetch that out like so. I think that's the expression we're interested in. So if I want to extract that into a local variable called something like average morning temperature, like so. And now, if I want to check that I haven't broken it, I rerun the program again, but this time I'm going to output it to a separate file. So we'll call this one output.txt, like so. We've now got two files. We've got our golden master, the original output, and we've got the output after we made the change. And hopefully they're exactly the same. And I've got a little script here that does a file diff using the fc command. So if I run my little script there, it'll compare those two files and tell us if there are any differences. It compares them and it's not found any differences. So our new output after the refactoring is exactly the same as the golden master. Now, this is just a console application, so it's relatively straightforward to do this kind of thing. It's a bit more involved, for example, if you're producing web pages or if you're checking the results of JavaScript being executed inside the browser. But it can be done with a little bit of nous. You can compare the rendered HTML. So Gold Master Assembly is a relatively simple, straightforward way of providing some safety when you're refactoring code that doesn't have automated tests by just comparing the system outputs to make sure that they match what it was originally producing.